This story begins on a day that Nancy will never forget. She is 55 years old, and this is the first day she truly decides to explore her own body. No one would have expected this from Nancy. She spent her entire life being careful and reserved. She's a religious studies teacher who follows the rules and avoids risk. And yet, 2 years after her husband passed away, she secretly books a session with a sex therapist and companion. Early that morning, Nancy arrives alone at the hotel room she reserved. Inside her suitcase is a brand new set of sleepwear. Nothing flashy, but it already feels like a big step for her. When the doorbell rings, Nancy freezes for a moment. Standing outside is Leo Grande, the man she booked. In person, he looks even younger and more attractive than in his photo. Leo has been doing this work for several years. His goal isn't just physical contact, but helping people feel safe, respected, and relaxed. But for Nancy, relaxation doesn't come easily. When Leo moves closer, she doesn't feel excited. She feels tense. She tells him honestly that her husband died 2 years ago, and since then, she's decided she will never pretend again. She also admits that her experience with intimacy has been very limited. At the same time, her identity as a teacher kicks in. She starts questioning Leo's situation. She wonders about his background, whether he chose this work freely or if he was forced into it. These thoughts clash with everything she's taught in her classes, and soon, guilt takes over. As Leo tries to guide things forward, Nancy is suddenly hit with another worry. She's afraid he won't be able to accept her aging body. She asks him what he actually finds attractive about her. His answer surprises her and briefly puts her at ease. But the relief doesn't last long. A stronger wave of shame follows. Nancy excuses herself, saying she needs to change, and rushes into the bathroom to calm down. Outside, Leo starts to realize how difficult this session might be. His usual experience and carefully created atmosphere don't seem to work here. And he's right. When Nancy comes back, she tells him this was a moment of impulse. She says he's free to leave and that she'll still pay him. Leo doesn't leave. He can see that this isn't about a lack of desire, but years of suppressing it. He decides to stay, hoping to help her move past that barrier. As they continue talking, Nancy becomes more curious about Leo. She notices how articulate he is, how carefully he chooses his words. He doesn't match her stereotypes at all. She asks if he went to school, and Leo says yes. He also mentions that his mother is a very strict Catholic. When Nancy asks what his mother thinks about his job, Leo answers with a joke. It makes Nancy laugh, and the tension between them eases a little. From there, Nancy starts talking about her own children. Because Leo is a stranger, she feels free to be honest. She says her son, who follows every rule and plan, feels dull to her. Her daughter, on the other hand, is bold and expressive, which makes Nancy uncomfortable in a different way. Realizing the conversation has drifted too far, Leo gently brings it back. He asks about Nancy's marriage. Her answer shocks him. For more than 30 years, her relationship with her husband followed the same routine, almost like a task to complete. That's when Nancy starts to understand why pleasure always felt out of reach. All those wasted years and suppressed needs come rushing back, and she begins to cry. Leo doesn't lecture her. He simply stays present, helping her relax step by step. Soon after, Nancy books a second session. This time, she's more eager, almost desperate to break free from the past. She brings a list of things she wants to try, carefully avoiding any mention of outcomes. She says she wants progress, but not impossible goals. Leo understands that she wants change, but keeps holding herself back. He uses humor to lighten the mood. Just as Nancy realizes he's joking, her daughter calls. She rushes off to answer the phone. The interruption gives Leo time to reflect. To him, intimacy is like dancing. You have to let go and move as if no one is watching. If you only copy steps, you miss the point. Leo turns on some music and starts moving naturally. At first, Nancy is stiff and shy, but watching Leo relax helps her do the same. It doesn't matter how awkward the movements are. This dance is only for herself. Then the phone rings again. It's her daughter, the one who always needs to call twice to explain everything. Nancy admits that sometimes children feel like a weight on her shoulders. Leo helps her unwind physically. The distance between them fades. For the first time, Nancy truly starts paying attention to her body. By the third meeting, Nancy can finally relax and enjoy the experience. But her curiosity about Leo keeps growing. She keeps asking about his family, and he keeps avoiding the topic. Eventually, Nancy looks up his real name online and confronts him with it. Leo reacts strongly. To him, this crosses a line. He leaves immediately, only to realize later that he forgot his phone. The frustration and old memories overwhelm him. It's not until the hotel calls that he calms down enough to explain. He tells Nancy that his mother cut off all contact with him when he was 15. Nancy finally understands that what she called seeking the truth was really about confirming her own assumptions. Leo leaves for good and asks her not to contact him again. The room feels empty. Nancy is alone once more. Still, she reaches out one last time. The fourth meeting happens downstairs at the hotel cafe. By coincidence, one of Nancy's former students, Becky, works there. Nancy is terrified of being recognized. Leo immediately understands and helps cover for her. Nancy tells Leo she didn't come for the service this time, only to apologize. She knows she's just one of his many clients. But for her, Leo represents the only real risk she's ever taken in her carefully controlled life. When it's time to pay, Becky brings up old memories from school. Nancy listens without defending herself. After their last session, Leo tells his brother the truth about his job. His brother isn't surprised, but he also tells Leo that their mother still can't forgive him. The reason goes back to a weekend when Leo was 15, an incident his mother never moved past. Even now, if Leo sees her on the street, they pretend not to know each other. Back in the hotel room, Nancy and Leo meet again. This time, nothing is about rules, labels, or other people's expectations. Everything is about being present and honest in the moment. When Leo briefly leaves the room, Nancy follows her body's instincts. She finally experiences something she once believed required another person. She realizes it never did. In the final scene, Nancy stands in front of the mirror again. This time, she isn't judging what she sees. She accepts it. She smiles, says goodbye to Leo, and walks forward with a new understanding of herself.